We are Eoin and Aisling, and we have spent this past 2 years travelling all over Southeast Asia to countries like Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Nepal and India. And we've decided it's time to do something we have never done before, a YouTube Q&A. And we're not going to do any messing around, we're going to get straight into the questions and we're going to start off with a
quick fire! Okay, what have we got? What made you want to go travelling?
Whenever we lived at home back in Ireland, we actually went away quite a lot on different city breaks, different weekends away across Europe. And then roughly around 8 years ago, I went to India for 3 months on a university placement.
And I heard so much about this trip to India that we just had to go and see Asia together.
Yeah, that is when the travel bug bit, and now we're here.
Which country would you recommend to travel solo or backpack across for the first time?
This is a no-brainer.
Thailand.
100%.
Every time, Thailand. It's so easy and just completely made for travellers.
If you have never backpacked, never travelled before, honestly, it's just Thailand. It has to be plain and simple.
How much longer are you going to travel for?
Look, we actually don't have an answer for that one.
We don't know. Ideally, we would love to continue travelling for years to come, but
it takes money to travel, obviously. You know, so it's all down to finances, and we just honestly can't say exactly right now how long we're going to be traveling for, so we will just have to wait and see.
So if you have been following along our channel, you will know that we are living in KL and we have a little apartment in the city. We absolutely love it. We did a little apartment tour. You can check it out up here.
Somewhere.
But this is not our apartment.
No, as you can probably tell, this is not where we are currently living. We are currently away on a lovely wee weekend away.
Nice.
We're still in KL, but we're on the outskirts of the city, and we're in a place called the Sooth Villa. And as you can probably guess from the title, it is very close to the Soo here in KL, and it is absolutely wicked. This place is so cool, and we're going to be giving you a wee tour around whenever we're doing our Q&A here. And it has one really unique and special feature that we love, and we can't wait to actually properly indulge in later on. So let's go on a wee bit of tour now, and then we're going to answer a few more of your questions as we go along. Come on.
The Zoo Villa here is a 2-story building, 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, absolutely huge and open plan. We are currently in the cozy living space area, some really nice sofas, and then there is another chill space right over here. We have got beautiful big windows the whole way along here. It is so bright. You look out into all the different trees, so it feels like you're in the middle of the forest, and this beautiful big sofa to chill in.
Okay, I think it's time for another question.
What did we do for work before we left to go travelling?
We have done a lot of different jobs, but the job we done literally just before we left home was we both worked for the Education Authority in the north of Ireland as youth workers.
I was working more so in the outdoors, doing a lot of outdoor activities, rock climbing, kayaking, canoeing.
It was
Loved
fun.
it.
Yeah, and I run a full-time youth centre for kids between the age of 5 and 18 years old, between Monday to Friday. We both of our jobs focused a lot on working with young people on improving their mental health, their well-being, their confidence, their self-esteem and their developmental skills, and a lot of other things that really just create a better life for young people nowadays. And something else that we get asked all the time on the topic of work is, are we currently working and do we work remotely when we travel?
Well, the simple answer is no, not right now.
We haven't worked since we actually left home back in September of 2021, but we are currently right now doing a course called the TEFL course. And what TEFL is a course that qualifies you to be able to teach English online as a foreign language.
And we are doing that through TEFL.ie.
Yeah.
They have so many amazing courses and internships, and we actually have a referral code which you can use to get 13% off. And it is so good. We're really loving it, and we hope to teach very soon online. So that's the future plan.
That's the future, and that's how we're hoping to sustain this lifestyle, to be able to continue to travel and work remotely online. So that is the goal. We also obviously have our YouTube channel, and what we would love is to be able to turn this into an actual business that has an income that can support our lifestyle, support our travel.
Keep us traveling.
And keep us going, yeah. But for now, we are doing the TEFL course. We are having a blast doing it. We are really enjoying studying again, and that is going to be hopefully a way we can get employment very soon.
But
Alright, where else? We're going to go check out some more of this place because it is massive and we need to go show you more of this amazing accommodation.
Let's go downstairs. We've got a monkey friend.
Oh, this wee dude just climbing up to wicked. Look at him. Oh, look at his teeth in this one. Do you see this big dude coming here? Oh, wow. Look at the teeth on him.
Where'd he go? Hello. And the main reason that we wanted to come and stay at the zoo villa was because it has its very own private indoor swimming pool. Just check this out. This is our very first time having our very own private pool, and it is so cool. They're surrounded by lovely big glass windows, all the trees outside. We're not going to open any windows though, because I don't want any monkey friends inside of my villa. But before we get on to our next question, I'm going to go get changed and get straight into that pool.
Oh, okay, the water here in the pool is slightly chilly, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but we're gonna do a few more quick fire questions whenever we are here, and the first one we have now is, how long did we spend in India?
3 months.
3 months total, and it was wicked.
We have another question about why did we pick India, what did we think of the food, the culture, and what was our overall experience?
So we picked India because, number one, I went a few years ago, as mentioned before, loved it, and I really wanted to go back and take Ashley with me this time.
I wanted to experience it, and we wanted to see some of the areas that you hadn't seen first time around.
Exactly. What did we think of the food and the culture? Amazing. We are absolute massive foodies, and Indian food's one of our favourites. It was incredible. We love spice, we love chili, and it was just perfect. And an overall experience, it was just unreal. We loved it. India's like nowhere else we have travelled before. It is a completely different kettle of fish altogether. It is so unique, so interesting, and there's just so much difference throughout the entire country, no matter where you go.
Yeah, like you move from one hour to the next and it is completely different, but really, really good.
Our next question is around kind of camera equipment, gear, laptops, and editing software. For our camera, our main camera is a Fujifilm X-S10, and then we also have a GoPro Hero 9, we also have a DJI Maverick Mini drone, and then we both have a Dell XPS laptop, and for our editing software we use
Adobe Premiere Pro.
Adobe Premiere Pro, and we love it.
Our next question is, what are your packing essentials for 1 year travel?
We have a couple, and a couple of the main ones are a good travel adapter,
a good battery pack,
a small light raincoat because it rains quite a lot in a lot of different countries.
And out of nowhere, and really heavy.
You might even be able to hear it right now since we have got in the pool. It's currently lashing down outside.
But we don't mind because we're in here.
It's all good. And another really good thing to bring with you is a small day bag. And I mean like a really small day bag that you can just go out for a day and bring like your wallet, your camera,
what
and maybe a bottle of juice or something.
Oh, and a little towel as well.
Oh,
like
a small
towel. Yeah. So handy.
Because you sweat everywhere. It's so bloody warm in
here. And for taking to the beach as well.
Yeah, so there's a couple of wee tips for if you're packing different wee essential things that we would say to bring with you. We also had a few people asking about what travel insurance we use, and we actually are with
Safety Wing, and they have been really, really good. We have a referral link down in the description below, and we will link it somewhere up here too. And
then our final question that we're going to answer now in the pool is around our Everest kind of experience. So people were looking to know how much did Everest cost us, and the total of what Everest actually cost us was roughly around $900 per person, which we thought was a pretty good deal for what we got. And we had a few questions around kind of how difficult it was as well.
Yes, it wasn't as bad as what we were thinking it was going to be.
No.
If you are anyway enthusiastic about hiking, have a good fitness level, you'll be able to.
If you're relatively fit, I reckon you can do it. It's definitely doable. Somebody also asked us that did we have any equipment and gear before going, or did we buy it whenever we got there? We brought our own hiking boots with us from home. We also had a good hiking backpack, so we didn't have to get them. We did have to buy a few items like thermal trousers, gloves and hats, and then we also rented a big coat and a sleeping bag whenever we got there as well. So a kind of mix between renting, buying and bringing our own stuff.
And if you didn't have anything, you can rent absolutely everything from Kathmandu as well.
You can get everything in Kathmandu. So if you're going to do the Everest trip or do any hiking in Nepal, don't worry, you can get everything you need right in the capital city. It is pretty chilly in here, so I think we need to do a wee bit of moving around the pool in order to get warmed up. Maybe get a few lengths in. Dance party. Alright, I am getting pretty hungry and it's nearly dinner time, so we're going to get out now and get dry, change and get a wee bit of dinner on for this evening.
But before we do that, we will answer one more question.
And the next question we're going to answer is, what is our biggest regret or mistake? I'm going to let you go first this one.
I definitely think it's bringing so much stuff in our bags.
We brought so much stuff when we first came.
So many things.
We overpacked like mad.
Yeah, I wish I had half the amount of stuff, half the amount of clothes, so that I could have like picked up some cool things along the way more.
Definitely, and I think my biggest regret or mistake would be before we left home, we never applied for an international driving permit, which caused quite a few issues in different countries whenever we were driving scooters and motorbikes, and to have the permit would have made life so much simpler. We now thankfully got it when we went home there a couple of weeks ago. We applied for it, we have it now, so it is great. But apart from that, I've pretty much no other regrets. You know, we regret very, very little, to be honest with you, but there is two anyway for now. But we are going to get out and it's time for dinner. Let's go.
It's dinner time, and tonight we have
Wraps, potatoes, onions, peppers, tortilla chips, salsa, and chicken!
and we are making fajitas!
So we thought whenever we're going to cook dinner, this would be a good time to answer one of the big and probably most commonly asked questions we get. What is your budget? How much do you spend? And how do you travel all the time?
And we're going to be as brutally honest as possible here, and we have got so many questions about budgets.
So
it's
many.
ridiculous. Going from how much is Asia going to cost for 1 year? How much is the daily budget?
What did you save before you went traveling? How did you save before you went traveling?
Do you work remotely? How can you afford it?
So we're going to cover all of these questions right now, but we are also going to get our dinner prep started as well.
Okay, so we're going to start with a big question. How much money did you save before going traveling?
So this is one that we don't know if we feel 100% comfortable giving a figure, right? We're going to say that straight out. But what we will say is that before we went traveling, we worked out that 1 whole year in Asia for
In
two
Southeast
people,
Asia?
Yeah, in Southeast Asia specifically, based on a couple of 2 people, would cost between 18,000 and 24,000 sterling. And we were actually able to do that pretty much on the lower end of that scale. The first whole year in Southeast Asia for us cost approximately £19,000 sterling, which was very good going.
I think we did pretty well.
And we are quite a bit into our second year of travel now. We have actually been on the road for a total of roughly around 20 months. So yeah, we're coming up to our second full year and we're still going pretty strong. So to travel around Southeast Asia for a full year doesn't cost as much as you think.
It's very, very cheap over here. Another big question was, what is your daily average? Before leaving home, we averaged out at £50 a day for the two of us. And we have been within that, within every single country. And in certain countries like Vietnam, India and Malaysia, we were as low as £35 a day
For the
both
two
of
of
us.
us, for the two of us, which is literally it's for nothing, to be
nothing.
honest with you, yeah. And I'm actually a man that loves numbers, I love spreadsheets, I love figures, I love facts. And I actually have been keeping a budget of all of our spends the whole time we have been away, and I'm actually going to put that up on the screen now, and you will be able to see exactly to the penny how much we have spent throughout our whole travels to date, which is pretty fun. Yeah, I love looking at the numbers. It's good to look back on, and I'm now giving you this information that hopefully it will help somebody else out there plan and budget their trip in the future to this part of the world.
Woo! My eyes.
Your eyes cutting onions can be an issue. So we also got a few questions on what's our actual process for budgeting, how do we monitor our budget, and as I said, we keep a full budget spreadsheet. However, we don't update this all the time.
We're not
like sticklers on it.
Yeah,
No, it's like, look, if we want to do something, if we want to go somewhere, if we need something, we get it. You know, sometimes we just want to like treat ourselves as well.
How we splash out
How
here.
we splash, exactly, yeah. So for our budget, we normally do like an update like every, the
Yeah.
onions and rice.
Are you getting that too?
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm gonna cry. So we do our budget updates roughly every like 2 weeks, you know, or
Based on
sometimes
location.
Yeah, we do it based on location. So sometimes if we're changing location, if we're moving to a new country, moving to a new part of a country, we will update our budget then. And it just makes life so much simpler whenever you are on the road. Okay, peppers cut, onions cut, chicken being prepped. And the last thing we wanted to touch on the budget area is how did we actually manage to save money to come traveling in the first place?
Which is one of the hardest parts of it all.
It is, and it's something that most people actually struggle with. And look, we are nobody special, you know, we didn't have these jobs at home that paid an absolute £1 million a year. You know, we had good jobs, but we didn't have hugely financially stable jobs, you know.
We just made our priorities. We put them in place and we figured out what we wanted our money to go towards, and that was travel.
Yeah, we're graphers.
That was travel. We worked hard, we put our heads down, we worked multiple different jobs. We didn't go out drinking all the time, we didn't go out just spending money on coffees and things that we didn't need to be spending money on.
We spent roughly around 4 years maybe saving to go on this trip that we're currently on. So travel is what we wanted to do, and that is why we put all our priorities into budgeting, saving, and just focusing on travel.
Are you finished?
Ooh, oi, oi. Check this out.
Dinner is served.
So we have done up some fajita mix, we have got some Dorito chips, we've got some chicken, pepper, onion, chili, garlic, and all the spices of the day.
We got potatoes, fried onions, fried pepper, salsa sauce, and loads of chili and garlic.
Man, I am absolutely buzzing. We are going to tuck right into this now, fill up these bellies, and then we're going to get right back into another question. Okay, dinner is finished up. We are absolutely stuffed, and if I must say so myself, it was pretty goddamn good.
It was really, really good. But before we finish up this evening, we're going to answer a few more questions.
We are, yeah. Go on, throw us out another one.
One of the questions that I got was, presuming that you guys have many cultural shock experiences, which one was your most memorable?
So, we have had so many good cultural experiences, some not so positive. But the one that I think shocked us the most and really sticks out in my mind anyway was we went to visit a Hindu temple in Kathmandu in Nepal. And at this temple, part of their tradition and their religion there, bodies are cremated at the side of a holy river.
Right out in the open, loads of people come to visit it, view it, and yeah, just very, very different.
Something we'd never experienced before. We didn't record, we didn't film anything at all that day because we really wanted to respect their culture and the tradition. But I think that has to be the one that probably shocked us the most.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
It really, really does stick out in our minds. And we're going to answer one final question, and then I think we're going to leave it there. And the last big one is, what is our future travel plans? So, go on.
Once we leave Malaysia, we are hoping, before that, to get some teaching jobs online.
As we said.
Once we move on from Malaysia, we're definitely going to travel at a lot slower pace.
We are, but that doesn't mean we're not going to move and travel around. There's loads of countries we still want to go to.
They're calling our names.
Some of them that we still want to visit are Japan, Taiwan. We want to go to Sri Lanka, and I really, really want to go to Pakistan. So we're going to have to wait and see that one, how that one fares out. But wherever we end up going, we really hope that you do continue to follow along on our journey, continue to support the channel. We massively appreciate the support. And thank you so much to everybody who reached out and sent us questions for this video as well.
We weren't able to answer everyone's questions, but we hope that you got a better idea of who we are. We answered some questions that you didn't know the answers to. And yeah, we really hope that you enjoyed this video.
Thank you so much for watching. We're going to leave it here. I think the pool's calling our name, so we're going to hop in for another wee dip. So for now, see you later, lads. Bye.